Alright, alrighty, alright, looks like I can use my, controller and such, because I'm trying to find a way on how to use it, and right now, like, yeah, it's not really, unless, hold on. What does import mean?
It's not working?
No, yeah, I don't think the, controller would actually work if I was to do it like this, yeah. Alright, okie dokie, well, looks like I might actually have to use the, keyboard for this. So,
I was gonna mention I would recommend for the next session, let's switch to Messen.
Honestly, it's a little bit too late, because, like, if I was to switch and everything, like, I probably, I'm sure there's a way I can, like, you know, move the save file, like, I already have from, like, you know, the Zelda 2 over to that emulation, but it's kind of a little alright. It's kind of a little too late to, like, switch, because, like, I've already, like, you know, because I've already, like, you know, played a game on this emulation to begin with, and so it's kind of, a little bit too late to, like, switch emulations right now. So right now, yeah, just the only thing I got. Pretty much, yeah. I was just gonna say that, like, okay, I don't know why it's doing this all of a sudden, like, cause yeah, like I said, it was never doing this for me, like, especially like,
the only time I remember that it did this to you was for Ghosts and Goblins, because I remember
Ghosts and Goblins, it did a little bit with Mega Man and such, but not as much. So I kind of wonder, like, if there might be something else to where, like, you know, it's kind of messing up the keyboard a little bit, or maybe like if I just need, like, better batteries or something.
Because your keyboard is USB.
No, it's not USB. Like, yeah, it's wireless.
Okay. There's the problem right there. Yeah, there's the problem.
Actually, yeah, let me see if I tried this.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's not like a USB and such. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about that bubble. I'm just gonna move. Alright, but you guys, yeah, I'll go ahead and kill.
It didn't do this to you while you were practicing, right?
No, yeah. Like I said, I had no problem with this when I was practicing, and it definitely did not do this when we were playing the original Legend of Zelda for the NES.
This is so fucking weird, man. Like, why the fuck did it decide to do it now? That's like.
I have no idea. Like, my only guess is that, like, maybe I'm also looking at the chat or something when I'm doing this on YouTube, but that wouldn't make sense because, like, we did that. Because, like, you know, like, I've done that before with the original Legend of Zelda, and, okay, yeah, I might actually lose a life here, but, alrighty, well, alright, you know, if I lose a life here, I'm not gonna worry too much over it. So I'm gonna try and take my time.
Chat, no, nobody's on the chat, so we're good then.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, ooh, I'll take that. Okay, yeah, here he is, the Iron Knuckle. Alright, now pretty much if you saw our blind Let's Play on this, you would understand. I was struggling with these guys a lot. And okay, well, alright, well, the good news is we still have 2 lives and such, so, like, yeah, so, like I said, pretty much again, like I said, I think this is the only Zelda game that's done this, but, yeah, this is the only Zelda game where actually you have lives, kind of like in, Mario and such. So pretty much like yeah, if you do die, then good news is you don't automatically get a game over. You just pretty much like lose some lives, but pretty much like you should be okay from here on out and such. But pretty much like yeah, once you do lose all your lives, then you will get a game over. And if you get a game over, then you have to start all the way, and you have to start at the North Palace again, and pretty much just make your way to like whatever palaces or whatever towns that you were visiting beforehand, and just pretty much, like, you know, just try again and such. But pretty much that's what I'm saying, like, yeah, like, pretty much in our blind Let's Play and everything, like, I was struggling with those, like, Iron Knuckles to no end and such. But thankfully, after watching someone like, you know, the Stupid Gaming Brothers, and even, like, Nintendo Capri's Son and everything, we pretty much found out the trick with these guys. We're pretty much, like, you know, if you just, like, you know, jump in, like, slash on them and such, then, pretty much, like, sooner or later, you will actually get hit. That's actually a more effective way to, like, you know, stab them and such. But another way that you could
I noticed it's much easier with that pattern, actually.
Yeah. But another way that you could do, just in case, like, you know, if you can't, like, you know, use the jump and slash trick on them and such, then another thing you can actually do to them, and yeah, I was gonna get hit by that. Well, to be fair, I was gonna hit. Yeah, to be fair, like, I was gonna get hit regardless, because, yeah, he was right on my ass. But anyway, as I go ahead and kill this bubble real quick. Ooh, Pete! Boo! So, alright, speaking of magic. But pretty much, like, yeah, as I was saying and such, pretty much another thing that, like, you know, you could do just in case if the hack and slash will not work and such, or the jump and slash, then all you gotta do is just watch for the sword. Don't bother with the shield. Just just take a good look at where, like, he's aiming that sword and everything, and just try to block it as best as you can. So pretty much if you just keep on doing that and everything, you should also be able to, like, you know, stab them with, like, no issues at all.
Does it work with the blue ones?
Pretty much it also works with the blue ones, but again, like, pretty much, like, once you do, like, a slash the blue ones, just wait for a little bit until they're done, like, you know, throwing their swords at you, and then you can go ahead and, like, you know, try again on them.
Alright.
Yeah, so pretty much we'll get to the blue ones when we get to them, but alright, here's another iron knuckle. There you go. So yeah, see how easy that was?
Yeah.
And yeah, this...
Wow.
And yeah, this is also, like, easy as well, too, because, like, yeah, all you gotta do with these guys, just, like, you know, just either duck or stab them in the leg, and pretty much you'll be okay. And we got another Minotaur coming up.
I got another hammer, bro.
Yep. Which, fun fact, as you guys already probably know by the description and such, most of the creators outside of, like, Miyamoto that worked on Zelda 2, that worked on the original, I knew that was gonna happen, Legend of Zelda and everything, they could not make a return to Zelda 2 because by the time that, like, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. Because by the time that, like, Zelda 2 was being created and everything, or at least being developed, the team that worked on the original Legend of Zelda were also too busy working on Super Mario Bros. 2, which aka would later become Lost Levels in, pretty much in America and everything. So, alright, go ahead.
I just said underrated.
Yeah,
underrated,
pretty.
Like, it's a very underrated.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, just wait till we get to that game whenever we do a Mario Marathon. But, alright, here we are with our first battle, Horsehead. So, pretty much, like, yeah, as it says, all you really need to do is just attack the head and try to get away from there as fast as you can before he has a chance to swing his mace at you. So, you keep on doing that, then, yeah, sooner or later, you will actually defeat him. Whoop. And we need one more.
And also,
there we go.
Also, another fun fact.
Yes.
Another fun fact: the director of this game, one of the directors for this game.
Yeah.
Alright. Later went on to direct a game that you guys know I loathe with a passion.
Yep. And pretty much it's a game. And pretty much it's a game that Bonnie and I just recently did a Let's Play on as well too. So pretty much all you gotta do is take a look at the playlist, and you guys will probably already have a good idea which game we're talking about.
Super Mario Kart.
Yep.
That's the game.
Yep. And pretty much, at least from my understanding, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think at least one of the directors, like, this will be the only Zelda game he'll actually ever direct as well too. At least from what I understand.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
And pretty much, like, yeah, from what I understand, most of the creators that did make Zelda 2, yeah, this will be their only Zelda project they ever work on and such. At least that I know of. Again, I could actually be wrong. If I am, please correct me in the comments. So, alright, so...
Miyamoto,
go ahead.
and Miyamoto wasn't happy with this game at all.
No, he wasn't. Like, yeah, this is one of the very few games where, like, pretty much, like, Miyamoto was not, like, you know, very happy to where, like, how it came out in the end and such.
Looks like it's happening again, the keyboard issue.
No, actually, no, it's fine. Like, right now, like, yeah, the keyboard's actually doing pretty good and such. So, anyway, yeah, we're in the town of Ruto. Hammer. Spectacle Rock.
Spectacle Rock. Death Mountain.
Yep,
Holy
so...
shit, Death Mountain's back!
Yep, Death Mountain is back, and so is Spectacle Rock. I can't wait till we go to Death Mountain. I'm sure it's gonna be just as... I'm sure it's gonna be just as fun as it was in the first Legend of Zelda game.
Right?
Right? I am Error. Well, thank you for your input, Error. Nobody asked you. Shut up! Let's get out of here. Anyway, let's talk to this guy real quick. Find magic in a cave south of the castle. Oh, well, thank you for the info. We'll make sure to do just that. Goraya. How the fuck you pronounce that name? Stole our trophy. Alright, so pretty much, yeah. So if you're coming to each town thinking that, like, it'll be very easy for you to get some magic, think again. Because pretty much in most towns that you visit, before you can even get certain spells, you have to do something within this town first so you can earn that spell and such. And, yeah, okay. Actually, I'll come back to this lady a little bit later. But pretty much, yeah. So for that one, in order to get the spell, we have to get the trophy, which actually is not too far from where the town is. But before we go ahead and get the trophy, let's also go ahead and get that magic container, or that extra magic that the old guy said that we can get, like south from the palace. And yeah, okay. So these bulldogs, these are another ones that can actually take your experience away if they touch you. And these are another ones that don't get experience back as well, too. So be very careful with them.
But like I said, compared to other enemies we're gonna encounter later on that take away XP, they're just tame compared to a couple.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree right there. And our good friend the Octoroks are back.
Hey!
Yep.
They're back. I love how they look in this game, actually.
Me too, actually. Like, I think, honestly, like, I think they had, like, I think they have, like, a really better upgrade and such when compared to the first game and such.
The Goombas of Zelda, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, you're not wrong. Like, they are actually, like, you know, the Goombas of Zelda and such. I pretty much they're the enemy that, like, you know, appeared once in the first Zelda game, and I mean, like, so far they've made, like, other appearances in other Zelda games as well, too.
Indeed.
Alrighty. So yeah, as you saw right there, we also got ourselves a extra container jar just by going to the cave, just like the guy said we would and such. So pretty much in this Zelda game, you can there are actually 4 extra hearts that you can get, and 4 extra jar containers you can get as well too. So pretty much, like, I will also be getting like each of the new jar containers, as well as, like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. But pretty much, like, yeah, I will go ahead and get the new jar containers, as well as, like, the heart containers you could get within the game as well, too. Alright, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and at least, like, hey, lady, I would actually like, you know, some healing magic, if you know what I mean. Please, let me help you, then. Come inside. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can restore your life. Holy shit, it's just what I've been missing out the whole time I was battling? Oh, damn.
Okay. Well, to be fair, Grant did drink. Let's get that out of the way.
Well, I mean, okay, actually, you know what? He did drink, so actually, okay, you know what? For this new imagination for the Grant fans out there, maybe we could say that, like, you know, the way the lady restored his life, he just gave him, like, a whole bottle of whiskey and just be like, here, go nuts.
And also, he did smoke. How many cigars did he smoke? Can you guess?
Actually, I am curious. How many did he smoke?
20 cigars a day.
Wow. You know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead.
20 cigars a day. Yeah, 20 cigars a day. Yeah, I'm not joking.
I mean, to be fair, I do believe you. This was like, you know, the 19th century and everything, where pretty much, like, smoking and drinking were probably one of the few ways, like, you know, a person could actually live back in those days. And, alright, well, pretty much, sorry, Link, I'm sorry, Grant, no magic container for you. And pretty much Grant took one look and just be like, what's the knockoff whiskey anyway? Fuck it! Wow, Grant, I didn't know that you could actually swear back in, like, you know, the 1800s and such. I didn't know that either. Hey, can I get more whiskey, please? Oh, god damn it. Here. Oh, yeah. Okay, and pretty much you also get this old lady right here, too, so... Stop and rest here. Okay, thank you for your hospitality. I can give you magic. Witchcraft! There he runs. But pretty much, yeah. So yeah, if you go into, like, that old lady's house and such, then yeah. This will be a place for you to restore your magic and such if you need it. You saved a trophy.
Save the trophy.
Come see my uncle.
Okay.
Well, I mean, technically I am Uncle Grant, so I'm already your uncle. Hey, where'd you go? So yeah, so pretty much once you do the favors for the people in the town, then you can go ahead and get another spell.
Where's this? You can jump very high. Yep, jump spell.
Yep, there it is. And as of right now, with the level magic that we have, it costs 32 magic points. So pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, that will cost you almost like 2 bars of your magic and such. Alrighty.
What's next? What's next? We do a let's play on this game later on, and I name myself Lee after you know who.
I mean, if you want to name him Lee, you can name him Lee. Or actually, pretty much, if you notice that, like, above Grant, I did name Link Link with L-I-N-C.
Link with a C, yeah.
Okay, so pretty much I'll go ahead and say, yeah, pretty much it's a play on Lincoln and such.
Oh, okay.
yeah, pretty much to keep on with the Tennessee jokes and such. Anyway, use keys and palaces they are found in.
I get what you mean.
What the fuck is the Civil War? The fuck is America? Do not go south without a candle. Well, I got a candle right here, and I got my cigars. Don't worry, lady. I know what I'm doing. Charge! Yeah! Alright, so we got everything we need. We got the jump spells, so now let's continue on.
Way down south of Dixie, away,
Ouch.
down south of Dixie.
Alright. So pretty much as you can see and tell right here, right now the castles are not like all that, like, or at least not the castle. At least the game itself, it's not all too hard as of yet. There are some difficult enemies here and there and such, but yeah, for now and everything, especially like once you get the hang of like the battle controls and everything, and how like everything works and such, then pretty much like the game can actually be like a very like honestly, it's one of those games where like the more I play it, the more I understand like the mechanics behind it and how like each of the enemies work and such. Like it can actually make for a very fun game at the end of the day.
Oh, definitely. You know, this is one of those games where it's a fun sort of hard.
It does, yeah. Alrighty.
It's kind of a fun sort of hard game, in a way.
It is.
And these guys again.
Yep.
Alright.
But yeah, now you gotta watch out for the red ones, because the red ones can actually turn into demons. And once they turn into demons and such, they can actually shoot fire. So, yeah, you want to try to get rid of them as soon as possible.
Satan sitting there, he's smiling.
He's smiling for you. So what's going on over here? This place is weird. And alright, well, good news is we're out of the cave. And if you're running low on health, there's your fairy! Berries! Okay. And that's not all. If you go right here, down into the swamp. And okay. Actually, yeah, for this swamp and such, like, make sure you get hit by, like, you know, the light enemies and such. Because if you get hit by the light enemies, then the only enemies you have to worry about are just the Octoroks. There is one Octorok in... Yeah, there is one Octorok in here, yeah, that will actually move like that. But pretty much, like, he's the only, like, he's the only Octorok and such that might give you some trouble. But pretty much after that and everything, like, yeah, these Octoroks are actually not too bad. So, alright, if you go right here, you get a Link doll. And pretty much these Link dolls are pretty much your one-ups. Now, some people like to collect these right before they get to the Great Palace, and for good reason as well, too. But for this session and such, I'll go ahead and collect it right now and such. I might actually regret that very later on, but you know what? Fuck it. Like, sometimes I'm one of those people that actually do like a good challenge, because I'm that much of a masochist.
what was I gonna say? A Link doll. You know what? You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Barney doll.
Well, I mean, like, pretty much, like, you know, if you want to say that, like, you know, pretty much we can say that, like, Nintendo kind of predict that, like, you know, that Link was probably going to get its own set of merchandise one of these days.
Totally. And you know what I always like to imagine? Every time Link dies, and the doll basically turns into another like a whoa!
Whoa! Hiya, kids! Pretty much everyone is just like, no, I'm not playing this game ever again. Alright, so
we're here.
Yeah, we're here in Watertown of Soraria. Saria, whatever. Eyes of Ganon are everywhere. Yeah, alright. So this is where you're gonna want to be very careful because... Alright, you know what? I'm gonna try to trigger this a little bit. Hello, young fellow. Yeah, so as you can see right here, yeah. Now if you talk to, like, certain people within the town and such, they could actually be, like, you know, monsters and such, so yeah. So yeah, pretty much this game just adds, like, you know, a reason for you to try not to talk to the villagers and such, even though some of them can actually give you helpful hints and such, so... some people can argue that's a little bit, like, clever gameplay, others can say it's a little bit stupid, so... we'll let you guys be the judge of it. But anyway, this person says that I lost my mirror, so yeah, we gotta find her mirror. So, okay. So, you wanna know where the mirror is? Where? I found a mirror. I actually go ahead. You voice, Grant.
Alright. Let me think of a voice because, you know, there was a voice recording back then, so let me think of a voice for it.
Alrighty.
I found a mirror under the table.
Alrighty. I mean, all you had to do it. Well, actually, you know what? Back in, like, you know, the 1800s, it was probably walking one block was way too much for us back in the day. And okay, here's a little interesting Easter egg. This is only in the Japanese version, but if you were to read one of these cross in the Japanese version, they actually would reference Dragon Quest in this game and such. Or actually reference one of the Dragon Quest characters in this game, because, yeah, fun fact, this game actually came out months after the very first Dragon Quest came out for the Famicom and such. And, pretty much as a little, like, nod and a little, like, you know, jab at, like, Nintendo, when Final Fantasy came out, they actually did the same thing with one of the graveyards, where pretty much if you were to read one of the graveyards, at least in the Japanese version, it would be like, here lies Link. Alright, now this plot right here, so pretty much, like, I did not understand, like, what you needed to do, but pretty much, all you need to do is just keep on pestering him, and then, yeah, he'll finally start talking. Let me be, Masters in Woods, north of river. So yeah, pretty much keep that person in mind. We will actually be meeting him soon, but anyway. Please, let me help you. Come inside. Oh goddamn, it's a Jack Daniels! I hit jackpot! Alright. Now, pretty much from here on out, we cannot go forward. Because if we were to talk to this guy, I'll stab him. Only town folk may cross this river. So yeah, we're not part of the town folk, so we can't cross this river. And if you cross this river, then congratulations, you're the dumbest person on the planet. Because if you cross that river, you die. So yeah, do not cross that river, whatever you do. Actually, I do... Okay, hold on, wait. Can I talk to this person? Oh, okay. In Morado Swamp, find a handy glove. Okay. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, congratulations. If you try to, like, you know, cross that river and everything, congratulations, you're the dumbest person on the planet. Anyways, so we found a mirror. So, hey, lady. Oh, you found my mirror. Follow me. The hell? The hell is this yellow sponge doing here? Anyway. use this magic to restore your life. So, yep, we get the life spell. And with our level of magic, it costs 60 MP for this. So pretty much it's almost like, it's almost like half your magic bar if you were to use it.
Which one was that one?
The life spell. The life spell.
Oh yeah, this one I really hate. This one I really hate because it shouldn't cost that much.
Well, I mean, like, to be fair, like, I can understand why Nintendo, like, would want to have, like, you know, the life spell to cost, like, a little bit more MP, because, like, let's be honest, like, if it only costs, like, you know, 1 bar of MP and everything, that pretty much it's not that hard to imagine that, like, people would definitely exploit that, you know, a spell to no end and such every time, like, you know, they lose a life and such.
Still though, the cost is very high. That's the reason why I don't like that spell, because the cost is so high, and when you need it, you can't have it because you don't have enough magic, which is so fucking annoying.
Pretty much, like, I can understand where you're coming from with that one. But anyway, okay, so this is one of those traps and such to where, like, you don't have to cross it if you don't want to. But just in case if you, but just in case, like, if you do somehow happen to, cross it, pretty much this is what you're going to encounter and such. So pretty much keep that in mind. And if you go over here, yeah, you get a fairy for your trouble. Okay, actually, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get a random counter, so... Hey, come on up over here.
You see the internet?
Whoop. Hold on. Whoop. Okay.
This little crocker, I'm gonna come in anyway. Could you stop playing this game enough to help mommy?
Mother, can't you see that I am playing Zelda 2? The most important game in the Zelda series? I need to beat this game, alright? So don't bother me with anything. I don't care if you want me to try another dress. Get out!
Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and use that fairy.
Very good, parents.
Alrighty. So before we go ahead and move on to the next palace and such, let's go ahead and go into this cave. And okay, actually, yeah, this is not all too bad. But this is gonna be, oh, okay. I was gonna say somehow I survived that one. Alright, hold on a second.